A short video about ignorance breeding anger, violence, and aggression, especially in a specific part of the political spectrum. And again, it used to be the liberals doing this. What the hell are you idiots doing? Anyway, Mammatus clouds, it means breast-shaped clouds. That's actually what the word means. Over East Palestine, Ohio, on February 10th, 2023, were not chem clouds. It's a naturally occurring phenomenon, and there was a story, literally that night, there was a news story telling people what they were seeing in the sky. So what happened? Someone decided, oh, no, it's all part of, name that, bizarre conspiracy theory. Again, I'm going to repeat this. When people get outraged and won't listen when you tell them you can look this shit up, it's either them needing to not be able to be corrected on something, quote unquote, you can't tell me, or they just need something so they can justify the rage they already have. This is how extreme they look. They form bulbous masses underneath other clouds and look fluffy. I mean, it's the fluffy cloud thing. Sometimes they look like ropes, blobs, all sorts of shapes. And yeah, there was literally a news story about it happening there in Nebraska. It's a weather phenomenon. It's not chem snow, chem cloud. Anytime anybody says anything when they look at the sky and they scream in outrage about chemicals or the government or Biden or Trump, it doesn't matter which one, immediately assume that they're just ignorant. That's the best policy I can come up with. There are many things that you may not have seen in your area in your entire lifespan. That does not mean they don't happen in your area. That also doesn't mean that your lifespan or your experience should be dominant. And no, we're not intuitive, neither are you. And I have to repeat this every few years to people who get really outraged. Yes, snow sticks together a certain way. And if you take a lighter to it, it gets a certain reaction. And it has since the beginning of time, if you ever, as long as, butane lighters have existed. Chem snow was a lie. Okay. Most weather phenomena that people aren't used to isn't something unusual to everybody else in the area. Okay, next. I want to bring up my little anecdote. When I first moved to Portland, I got to see clouds move for the first time in my life at high speed. I always thought the way they did it in movies, where the clouds would move and it was very, very cinematic, was some sort of time lapse. It wasn't. I just grew up in Eastern Oregon, and it's broad skies, and the clouds don't move very quickly. That's all. And it freaked me out. It was very dreamlike one day, and I realized I'm not dreaming. This is literally just my lunch period, and I'm sitting outside looking at clouds move. And I tried to explain to people that's not what they do, where I grew up. And what's funny is people who visited Eastern Oregon and came back said, yeah, you're right. It just stays there. They don't move, and it freaked them out. That doesn't mean it's unusual behavior. It's not behavior you've seen. So again, these were mammatus, or breast-shaped clouds. That's the term. So I'll leave a link to a bunch of websites. People will call me a shill for posting. And yes, I know that there's a chemical fire with polyvinyl chloride from a train derailment. But because it's negative to people in the area, people are assuming it was done on purpose somehow, because that somehow makes sense to them. And yes, someone's going to post and correct me about a bunch of things here, but these aren't chemical clouds. They're just not. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I wish everyone a great deal of luck.